Flirting over text can be a fun and exciting way to build chemistry with your girlfriend, but it's not always as simple as sending a few cute messages. To truly capture her attention and keep her engaged, you need to understand the art of playful banter, confidence, and timing. As Albert Einstein once said, "Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value." When it comes to flirting with your girlfriend over text, the goal is not just to impress her, but to create genuine connection and spark that makes her feel special. The way you communicate can set the tone for your relationship, whether you're deepening the bond or keeping things lighthearted and fun. So, how to flirt with a girl over text? It's more than just throwing out random compliments or emojis. It's about being authentic, a little daring, and knowing when to pull back and let her miss you. With these 7 rules, you can master how to flirt with your girlfriend over text and leave her eagerly anticipating the next conversation. Ready to make your texting game irresistible? Let's dive in. Number 1, turn everyday texting into playful flirting. Let's dive into how to spark some life and playful energy into your texts, turning an ordinary chat into something that draws her in and genuinely makes her want to know more about you, or even meet up in person. Picture this. You're about to take a routine conversation and add that twist of curiosity, a dash of fun, and a hint of flirtation that transforms it into something unforgettable. Imagine the classic scenario. You send a good morning text and she replies, "Good morning." So far, so good. You're both engaging. Then you say, "How's your morning?" She answers, "I'm all right, just getting ready for work, running a bit late. How about you?" And you respond, "Same, just starting my day too." A little later you send, "Hope you have a great day," which she politely acknowledges with, "You too." On paper, nothing's wrong here. Wishing someone a good day is sweet. But if this kind of routine becomes the norm, the conversation can start to lose its spark. Next, you might text, "How was your day?" And she answers, "Fine, just got off work." You reply, "Same here, almost finished for the day." This back and forth is polite but lacks real engagement or depth. A little later, you sign off with, "Have a good evening." She replies, "You too," maybe just out of politeness. What's going on here? You're engaging in a predictable rhythm, asking about the day, work, and evening, which, while well-meaning, doesn't leave her much to respond to with excitement or curiosity. She might start wondering, what's he really after here? Is he just trying to fill the space? This sort of exchange can feel more like a routine than a connection. She may even be asking herself, is he ever going to ask me out? Because usually if you're texting, it's with a sense of meeting up eventually. If that's not on the table, the conversation could easily lose its appeal. Now, imagine switching it up with a little surprise and energy. One morning, instead of your usual text, you send, "You won't believe what I dreamed last night." That's different, right? Chances are she'll respond with some curiosity like, "Oh, what was it?" You can then spin a story that's funny and a bit imaginative, like, "So we were these secret agents dodging lasers and breaking into a vault to steal diamonds, and at one point, you tried to trap me in this insane laser maze." She laughs, replying, "No way," and you play along, "I barely made it out. Total madness." Suddenly, the conversation has taken on a life of its own. It's lively, playful, and memorable. She'll think of you with a smile later, maybe chuckling at the idea that she got you into trouble, even if only in a dream. Now both of you have shared in a mini-story that was just plain fun. She responds, "Oops, my bad." See the difference? Kicking things off with, "You'll never guess what I dreamed," is miles more engaging than the standard "good morning" or "how's your day," though those have their moments too. But a little surprise pulls her in and creates a fun moment between you, making it much more likely she'll want to keep the chat going. Here's another twist. Instead of the usual "good night" text, how about sending something like, Hope you're ready for another wild dream tonight. And let's try to avoid the laser maze this time. She laughs and responds, I'll behave, I promise. By building on shared experiences, even just playful ones, you're creating a conversation that feels unique and engaging. This kind of energized, imaginative approach shows her you're interested in her without it feeling like you're just doing a check-in. You're setting up moments of connection that stand out, and she'll be more likely to look forward to your next message. So next time, throw a little spontaneity into your text. It's a refreshing change from the usual, and it might just inspire her to open up and enjoy the conversation more. Number 2, keeping conversations short, sweet, and captivating. When it comes to connecting with someone you're interested in, the golden rule is to keep it short and sweet. It's easy to meet someone special and feel like you want to tell them everything. The butterflies in your stomach, the way your heart skips a beat when they walk into the room. Sure, it's sweet, but if it's too much too soon, it can overwhelm or even push them away, especially if they're not in the same place emotionally. Instead, try a more subtle, engaging approach. When texting, be direct and avoid lengthy, wandering messages or showing off. Don't stretch out conversations just to keep them going. Instead, use open-ended questions to invite her to share more about herself. These questions keep the focus balanced and the conversation flowing naturally. For example, instead of the generic, "How are you?" may lead to a short, "Am I okay?" question. Share something about your day and tie it into a question that piques curiosity. Say something like, "I got splashed with dirty water today. Hope you have a better day than I did." This invites a response like, "Where'd that happen?" or "How'd you manage that?" It adds a bit of charm to the conversation, drawing her in without overdoing it. Consider these short and sweet ideas for texts. Ran into an old friend today. Reminded me of something I wanted to ask you. She'll probably wonder what you wanted to ask. You ever have one of those days where you just can't catch a break? Got a story for you if you're interested. Creates curiosity. Had a little adventure today. Any guesses what it was? Gets her wondering and interested. Humans are curious by nature. They're wired to want to fill in blanks or resolve the unknowns in a conversation. By leaving just a bit of mystery, you'll keep her wanting to know more. So the next time you want to text her, remember, a little intrigue goes a long way. Short, thoughtful messages create anticipation and leave her wanting more. Give her space to wonder and see where that curiosity takes the conversation. What's a fun story you could share next? Number 3, keeping it light. The art of friendly and fun text flirting. Keeping a positive attitude is key, especially if she doesn't reply right away. Flirting through text should feel lighthearted and welcoming, so keep the tone upbeat in your messages. Avoid heavy topics. Instead, keep the conversation fun and easygoing. If your goal is to flirt, let that playful energy shine through. Flirting through messages can be a balancing act. You want to be fun and engaging without coming on too strong. By focusing on friendliness, humor, and a relaxed approach, you'll build a genuine connection. Here's a guide to mastering the art of texting in a way that's friendly, memorable, and ultimately engaging. 1. Stay playful, don't push. A lighthearted message can make someone smile without making them feel pressured. Instead of diving in with a direct compliment, try using humor or a gentle tease. Think of flirting as a friendly game of ping pong. You're just trying to keep the ball in play, not win the point. Example: instead of saying, "You're amazing," try something like, "Guess what? I just read somewhere that people with awesome taste are texting me right now." Coincidence? This keeps things fun and playful, leaving her intrigued and engaged. 2. Ask open questions. Open-ended questions invite them to share more and feel included. Rather than yes-no questions, ask things that allow for interesting answers. For example, what's something surprising about you that people wouldn't guess? Or, if you could be anywhere in the world right now, where would you be? These kinds of questions lead to personal and thoughtful responses, opening up the conversation beyond small talk. By asking engaging questions, you're creating a space that feels inviting and worth joining. 3. Be sincere and attentive. Flirting doesn't always need to be over the top with compliments or pickup lines. Instead, focus on making her feel appreciated and understood. Sincerity in texts stands out in a world where flattery can feel hollow. For example, tell her she's the first person you'd want to share something with or the first person you think of. You could say, "I genuinely find myself drawn to you. You're on my mind often. I'd love to know more about you if you're open to it." Messages like these can have a lasting impact. 4. Sprinkle in a hint of mystery. Mystery is naturally attractive. It piques curiosity and makes people want to learn more. Instead of sharing everything up front, you can hint at a funny story or an interesting fact, then pull back a little. For instance, you could say, "Remind me to tell you about the time I accidentally crashed a wedding," and then leave it there. Or say, "I have a bizarre talent that no one would ever guess. Want to try guessing?" 5. Compliment, thoughtfully and casually. A well-placed compliment can make a big impact, but keep it subtle and genuine. Instead of commenting on appearance, compliment something unique about them. Try something like, "You seem to always know the perfect thing to say," or, "I love how you can turn any dull story into an adventure." These kinds of compliments show that you're paying attention to who they are, not just how they look. 6. Add a touch of playfulness with emojis or GIFs. Throwing in a well-timed emoji or GIF can lighten the tone and make your text more expressive. But be careful not to overdo it. Too many can come off as forced. Use them as a way to add a playful touch, like a wink emoji to show humor, or a laughing one to show that you're enjoying the conversation. It brings warmth and lightness without overwhelming the message. 7. Give space. Don't overdo it. The idea of giving space is crucial in text flirting. Avoid double texting if they haven't responded yet. Let them have the time to think and reply at their own pace. Just because the conversation is going well doesn't mean you need to keep it going indefinitely. Sometimes ending on a high note makes them eager for the next conversation. Example: conversation flow. You. Serious question. Is it weird that I just know we'd make a killer trivia team? I have a sixth sense about these things. Them. Ha ha ha. How can you be so sure? You. Oh, I can tell you've got the humor category locked, and I'm fairly confident I can handle all the useless random facts. A dream team, right? This keeps the conversation upbeat, confident, and hints at spending time together without any pressure. By keeping things light, intriguing, and positive, you create a space that invites them to open up and join the fun. Number 4. The eagerness trap, demonstrating high standards. When it comes to texting a girl, a common mistake many men make is to overextend themselves, filling every message with praise, offering constant help, and agreeing with everything she says. While well-intentioned, this approach can quickly drain the intrigue from any conversation. Why? Because it signals that you're too available and too eager to please, implying you lack standards or boundaries. To keep attraction alive, you need to bring a sense of high value and a bit of challenge to the interaction. Think about it. Are you more drawn to something that's easily available or something that requires some effort to attain? Women often feel the same way. High standards demonstrate self-respect, and showing that you're not easily swayed by physical attraction alone suggests depth. When you display this in your messages, it creates an air of intrigue that encourages her to invest more in the conversation. First, resist the urge to always agree. Challenge her ideas. politely of course, when you have a different perspective. For instance, if she says she loves horror movies, instead of immediately agreeing, you might say, "I'm more of a thriller fan myself. What do you like about horror?" By doing this, you're showing that you're not just going along to please her, but have your own tastes and values. Another way to convey high standards is to avoid constantly offering help or attention. For example, if she mentions she's struggling to decide on what to have for dinner, you don't need to jump in with a list of suggestions. Instead, you might say, "I'm sure you'll figure it out. You seem resourceful." This keeps the conversation light without implying that you're waiting around to be her problem solver. As Steve Jobs once said, "People don't know what they want until you show it to them." By showing that you value yourself and have your own priorities, you're subtly communicating that you're not waiting for her approval. This confidence is magnetic because it invites her to discover more about you rather than you trying to prove yourself to her. So the next time you text, think about how to keep the conversation balanced and respectful without being overly available. Could you challenge her views a bit, show that you have your own life, or bring up something intriguing about yourself? By focusing on a high-value mindset, you're building a foundation of mutual interest and respect that naturally deepens connection. Number 5, tease her a little. Teasing is a great way to flirt. When done right, it creates a playful sense of intimacy between two people without getting overly serious. Think about it. A touch of humor, a hint of nostalgia, and a dash of spontaneity can be the perfect recipe to make someone feel closer to you. So, what's the best way to tease her? Here are a few suggestions that will spark her interest and remind her of how much fun you two have together. Start with a unique nickname just for her. Something only you call her. It could be something like Stupid Girl or Miss Perfect. The goal is to make it light and charming, showing her that you notice those little things that make her unique. People love feeling special, and these tiny gestures tell her that she is in your eyes. You can also recall something funny she said or did the last time you hung out. For example, if she struggled with a soda bottle, playfully remind her, "Just don't spray soda everywhere like last time, okay?" This approach, sometimes called humor with recall, taps into shared memories, which can subconsciously make her feel closer to you. Plus, it's a reminder of a good time spent together, and that nostalgia can create a warm, positive feeling. Teasing can be especially effective when it's anchored in humor, but remember to keep it light. Teasing should never cross into mean-spiritedness. If she's shy about something, steer clear of that topic. Think of teasing as an art. It's about knowing where the line is and not crossing it. Imagine you're both in on the joke, not putting her in the spotlight in a way that might feel uncomfortable. These little gestures may seem small, but they're the moments that often mean the most. Remember, it's not about saying the right thing. It's about sharing a little laugh, a small memory, and enjoying the journey of getting to know her better. Number 6, breaking the mold. Flirt like a pro. Flirting via text can sometimes feel like a game of predictability. You text, she responds, and it all becomes a little too familiar. But how do you keep things exciting? How do you make her look forward to your messages, wondering what's coming next? The secret is simple. Break the mold. Most guys follow a set pattern when texting: fast replies, predictable times, and the same old conversation starters. But here's the thing. Women love unpredictability. We don't want to be able to predict every text, every reply, and every interaction. That predictability, it can feel boring, even frustrating. The magic happens when you introduce an element of surprise. That's when the spark ignites. Think about it. Isn't life more exciting when there's a little mystery involved? So how can you text her in a way that keeps her on her toes? The first step is to change the pattern. If you usually reply quickly, try taking a little longer sometimes. No need to make it a game, but let your life naturally dictate the pace. When you're busy and don't feel the pressure to text back immediately, The unpredictability comes naturally, and guess what? She will notice. It's not about playing games, it's about living your life with purpose and letting the responses come organically. But here's where things get interesting. What about the timing? Do you usually text her at night? Why not switch it up and text her in the morning? The key here isn't just about time, it's about shaking things up. Imagine she's just woken up and her phone buzzes with a message from you. It's strange that you're not a magnet, but I'm still drawn to you. Or, I never believed in fate until I met you. Now I can't imagine life without you. Not only will she be curious, but it's also a subtle reminder that you're thinking about her at all hours of the day. Ever tried sending a voice note instead of just text? That's another game changer. Voice notes bring a personal touch that pure text can't replicate. It's almost like having a mini conversation on the go, and it shows you're putting in a little more effort. In a sea of text-based conversations, Number 7, don't let the conversation drag on. Flirting over text can be an art, and like any art, it's all about timing, tone, and a touch of mystery. One of the most overlooked yet crucial skills is knowing when to end a conversation. Think about it. Leaving her wanting more can be more powerful than dragging out the chat until it fizzles out. If you're always the one to keep things going, you risk the conversation feeling forced or, worse, dull. Instead, aim to end on a high note so she's excited for the next interaction. Here's a simple strategy. Wrap things up before the energy drops. End with a light-hearted, flirty message that brings a smile but also builds anticipation. For instance, if things are going well, you might say, "All right, beautiful, I've got to run, but don't miss me too much. I'll check in tomorrow to make sure you haven't started any trouble without me." This has charm, humor, and leaves her curious about what tomorrow's conversation might bring. Another example. "It's bedtime for me. Need my beauty." Flirting with your girlfriend over text can be an exciting way to keep the spark alive in your relationship, but it's all about balance. Whether you're sending playful messages or showing genuine interest, mastering how to flirt with a girl over text is key to building connection and deepening attraction. Remember, the goal is to make her smile, feel special, and keep things light and fun. Don't rush things or make it too heavy. Let your texts be a reflection of your playful side, while also showing that you care. So as you continue to master how to flirt with your girlfriend over text, keep these 6 essential rules in mind. Be confident, playful, respectful, and attentive to her responses. And remember, texting is just one tool in your communication toolbox. Keep your connection strong in person as well. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to The Stoic Goddess for more insights on relationships, personal growth, and everything in between. Share your thoughts in the comments below and hit the notification bell to make sure you never miss out on more amazing content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.